I know they ain't 2-3, man.
You ain't shooting with Love City, I don't know who you shooting with. Ayy. Fuck you talking about, bitch. What the fuck going on? Ayy, I promise every beat you throw at me that I'ma kill it. Niggas hate and give a fuck about they fucking feelings. Step on next and stack my money to the fucking ceiling. It gon' miss.
Man, what's up, man? It's your boy Dre with my boy Ye. We back, episode 2, Love from the Trenches, man. We here today with the Rackham movement here in the city.
Yeah, and before we get into everything, we just gonna have our guests kind of introduce themselves. Y'all go ahead.
My name is Eric. A lot of people call me as Devil from Back of the Yards, born and raised.
My name is Ricky. You know what I'm the founder of Rackham Entertainment and the Movement, and I'm from Bryant Park.
My name is Victor, right here from Cicero, and right here one of the artists right here working with Rackham.
Okay. So, man, as y'all know, man, like this whole podcast is based on just getting in tune with what's going out here on the street and providing an outlet for people that's out here that's part of the culture. As y'all know, Love City, we for the most part we work with like artists, and you know artists always got a chance to express themselves because they got the talent of making music. But we know a lot of the times the artists are talking about what's going on in the streets. So this platform is just to hear directly from people that's on the streets that are never going to make a rap song, but I feel like should still have a voice.
Still got a story to tell.
Correct.
Yeah, so Ricky, you say you're the founder of the whole Rackham movement. So for people that never heard of Rackham, what is Rackham?
Yeah, I was definitely gonna ask that because I wanted to get more in depth about what y'all got going on.
Well, I started with Rackham, but it was just like a truck club or rhymer club. That's what I call it, because there's no rhymer clubs in Chicago. So I wanted to make it the first rhymer club. I did a documentary about the rhymers, telling the story about what rhymers are. So then I'm like, you know what? How come we can't make Rackham a whole Chicago movement? You know what I'm saying? Like not just the cars, not just the trucks, but like the people in Chicago, the culture. Like we got people from Back of the Yards, Pilsen, Cicero, the North Side, Humboldt Park. You know what I'm saying? We got people from all over the city. So it's like, how come I can't make it Little Village? Oh yeah, Little Village, especially Little Village. Don't forget Little Village, Little Village.
Jason,
Pilsen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got Pilsen, and it's not just people with trucks, but you know what I'm saying? Like I try to do everything. I got artists, then I got the kid from Pilsen, you know what I'm saying? Then I got another artist, David Calibre, with corridos. Then I got one of the guys from Rackham. I tell him, hey, if you're gonna go to the entertainment side, holler at me, you know what I'm saying? Because I do acting and stuff like that. So it's like with the movement, I try to make it like everybody sees rhymers as negative stuff.
Yeah, so just let me pause you right there and kind of rewind you a little bit, because obviously, like the neighborhoods we come from, we know exactly what a rammer is, right? But even when I was talking to Ye, right, we was talking, and you know, Ye's from Austin, like West Side. Once I explained to him, you know, like he like, oh, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about, but just kind of like, what's a rammer for people that don't know what you're like, what that means?
A rammer is basically like they use it like kind of like a hood tank. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like man, I can't explain it, but it's like you patrolling in it.
Yeah,
rammer doesn't have to be a big ass truck. Man, I was, you know what I'm saying, when I was out there on bullshit, I was driving people in minivans, but little Cadillacs, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a big ass car, but a rammer's kind of like a throwaway gun. You know what I'm saying? But now we're trying to change that because, man, rammers are classics, you know what I'm saying? So back in the days, we were getting bourbons for like $500-$600 a stack. Now they're like $5,000, bro. I was getting the old school Cadillacs for $250, but I had a Regal. I bought a Regal for $1,600. 84 Regal. Nice ass Regal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Messed it up. Now those Regals are like $8,000. You don't catch them.
Yeah, I was talking to Drake before the podcast because I was watching y'all documentary about it. I'm like, so y'all just take these cars and y'all just mess them up. I'm like, y'all ain't scared when y'all crash into somebody else's car, you gonna hurt yourself or nothing? Because like he said, like from my neighborhood or whatever, and then we from two different cultures and stuff. Like it's just foreign to me. But when Drake was explaining to me, I'm like, oh, this is really a big thing. He's like, yeah, this is well known or whatever. Then he showed me the typical cars. I'm like, now I get where y'all going with it. I understand what it is. But when he first told me, I'm like, no, y'all crazy.
And I try to make a point of it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you see it, bro, the cops see it, they see it's negative. Like, they see us running around, like, look at these gang bangers. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, we're not supposed to have a second chance, you know what I'm saying? Or third chance, some of us. So, Rhymers is like a straight Chicago Latino thing, bro. Like since I grew up, or since I was a shorty, it was always like Rhymers. When I'm, you know what I'm saying? When I'm driving around, I used to see little shorties like, oh, they used to make fun of him. Like, oh, this guy thinks he's you, bro. He's in his Caprice or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's true, because even in your neighborhood, bro, you see motherfuckers with nice ass cars. You're like, damn. You nice caddies or whatever they're
Yeah.
driving, the box Chevys, bro. It's the same
Mhm.
shit with us, but we were seeing Caprices because at first it was Caprices, you know what I'm saying? You know, the Buicks or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it started moving up to the big trucks, the Bourbons, the Chevy 20s, the Broncos, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So whatever.
yeah. I was telling Ye when I was locked up, I had a celly. He was from Bryant Park. He was a 2-6 from Bryant Park, and he was like, I think like 12 years younger than me, so he's still young, you know. And bro, all this dude would talk about was rammers, bro. I was already like I was almost like sick of him. Like I get it, bro.
Jay, like,
I get it. Like he used to be out there in the rammers, bro. I get it.
Right.
That's like rammer this and ram, bro. He used to talk about that. Like he used to get like you could see his adrenaline start pumping when he talk about it. I was like, man, you crazy, man, because I'm from the culture. You know, I know exactly what a rammer is. And I knew like how to make sure I kept a distance when I seen a rammer on the street. Like, but I was like, I'm like, yeah, right. I was like, man, I don't know. You know, I might end up trying to hit somebody, and I might end up wrecking
That's
myself.
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man.
I wasn't that good with the driving skills, you know, to feel like I control that big old truck, man. So, I mean, so what's your favorite kind of like? What's the like number one truck that's considered like a rammer that you think like, damn, that's like, you know how like the low riders like the 6'4" Impala, right? That's like low rider. When it comes to rammers, like, what do y'all think? And I want to get each of y'all's opinion. Like, what do you think like the rammer is?
Man, well, rammer, I see, you know, the ones I see a lot is like a Tahoe, you know what I'm saying? The Suburbans, you know, you see those.
Drake told me that. You tell
It's
it.
like, you right away like, oh, shit, what's going on? Hold on. Yeah, for sure.
Tahoe?
For me, I already know the Suburbans. You know what I'm saying?
Bourbon.
I like the K-Fights and the Broncos because you could take the top off. But if you can go ramming somebody with a Suburban, you know what I'm saying?
All right. And you? What's,
Yeah, same thing, especially them old school Suburbans, like them 89s, Liberty.
The skirt body.
that's
That's the
all
big-
steel, no
Yeah,
fiberglass.
steel,
Right?
bro.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the old steel. Like
Yeah,
you still hit somebody, you still dip, you still leave.
Yeah.
I remember my granddad, he used to be telling me stories. He like, yeah, these cars now, they ain't worth nothing. They all made out of plastic. Back in my day, all the cars was metal. Steel, you hit somebody, it's over with. They got no chance to leave. Like, right now, if you hit somebody with your car gonna be more messed up than them. And that's actually fact, because I remember we was coming from a baseball game when I was a shorty. Like, our basketball team won some tickets. My uncle was our coach. And he got hit by somebody's car. They whole car was messed up. Like, he fractured his arm and stuff like that. But besides that, he was cool, but they car was messed up. I'm like, nah, I see what my granddad was talking about. They don't make cars how they used to.
Yeah, no, they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, each of y'all come from like different parts of the city, right? But they all got kind of like the same similar issues, especially when it comes to the street culture,
Yeah.
with
Correct.
the violence and the gangs.
Yeah.
And were you guys ever part of that? You know, like engaging in and you know, like that type of gang activity. Like people already know a little bit. I've never gotten into details, but like I was involved when I was younger. Obviously now we older now, we thinking different.
Yeah.
Trying to do positive things, but at one point where each of you guys like involved like in a street organization.
I mean, yeah, I kind of was too. If you don't believe me, even my mom said you were already would have your own dealer, because I already have wrecked probably like almost 60 cars. I started driving when I was
Same thing, bro.
I started driving when I was 13. I was already in the streets. Even when the police 5-0s used to pull me over, I used to tell them I was 18. And they
You was
say-
already ramming shit at 13 years old?
Exactly, you know, they used to burn my cars, ran, taken by 5-0, you know.
All
Yeah,
right.
you know, back in the yard is one of the heavy
Yeah.
rammer hitters.
And I
you
used
know what I'm saying?
to have G20s back in days. I used to ram, like, I used to get into it with them, you know.
Yeah, I remember like when I first came home, you know, when I left, like there wasn't even no smartphones, right? So when I came home, this whole internet shit, like I used to hear about it, like it was all new. I remember I seen a video from Back of the Yards, and I remember it was like a fucking army of rammers, like 10 rammers just driving. I don't know what hood it was, but I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, I
just
know.
said-
which
Yeah, that was his neighborhood, bro. That was,
Yeah,
you know
bro.
what I'm
So I
saying?
remember seeing that. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, what the fuck going on out here? Like, this shit's
Yeah.
crazy, you know? So I definitely kind of like familiar with your side of town, you know? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I was out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is that it works because I was actually out there ramming, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was actually driving rammers and doing that thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to say, like, oh, I regret it or whatever, but it's like, that's part of, you know what I'm saying? You live in Chicago, bro, you know what I'm saying? That's part of life, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Either you're going to eat or you're going to get eaten, bro. That's it, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like, you're not gonna bow down, bro. You know what I'm saying? And be like, oh, I'm just gonna punk out. You gotta be on it regardless, bro. Even if you don't wanna, even if you're not in that life, bro, if you live in a neighborhood, other guys that come from the neighborhoods are gonna say, oh, that guy's not from, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, oh, that guy's from the neighborhood. So you still gotta be on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I started. That's how I got involved because I wasn't out there.
Right.
So I knew some guys from other places. I'm like, say what's up, but since they caught me in that neighborhood, they started hearing me out. And after that, well, that was just, you know what I mean? It was over.
Yeah.
But that was all like, you know what I
I
mean?
don't know. We talked a little bit before we turned the cameras on, and we're telling me how like kind of moved back and forth from St. Louis and Chicago. Right?
Yeah.
So how was that experience like coming from like a city like St. Louis, which is not no stranger to like culture as well,
Yeah.
to coming to Chicago? Like, what similarities were there? What was like some of the biggest differences?
I mean, out there in St. Louis, it's not I mean, there is, but it's not a lot of, you know, the Latino community is not so big like out here. You come out here, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, the blocks, you got, you know, stores everywhere over there. You got to drive everywhere to get to a store and stuff like that. So it's definitely, you know, I always loved it out here. I got family that lives here in Cicero and Little Village. So, I mean, I used to love coming out here. And now that I still be here, man, I mean, it's great, you know? It's
So
great.
were you from St. Louis or East St. Louis?
East St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
I had a lot of college friends at my school that I went to from East St. Louis. Like it was a big East St. Louis population in my school, so I know a little bit about East St. Louis.
Oh man, yeah, right there, yo.
Yeah, they say.
Definitely.
Yeah, they was telling me like cause we was chatting up. It was like 6 a.m. We was just talking like this college stuff. We just in the lobby 6 a.m. talking about like similarities and differences. And like when we came to the conclusion, like dang, Chicago and East St. Louis, they got a lot of similarities. Chicago just on a bigger scale or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like before, you know, like we're in the streets younger. Like probably most of the shit that we're involved in was on some negative shit.
Yeah.
We used to be a big part of the problem, but now, I know you a little bit now. You know, we've been chopping it up for probably close to a year now, so I kind of familiar with your, you know, what the whole movement's about, right? Like, so, am I correct when I say like now, you want to keep like the same energy that you had when you were younger, but towards some positive shit, like, and that's why maybe like the way you're delivering it, because there's a lot of people out here kind of like trying to like help with the issues of the violence and that we got going on that affects kind of everybody that lives in the city, whether you're involved or not. Like the violence is affecting you, right? So, what made you feel like you can take part of the culture, which is the Rammers, and try to do something positive? Like, what gave you the idea? What gave you the motivation to try to start to doing something like that?
Basically, the love for the city, bro. Like, I want to put Chicago on the map, bro. Because you know what I'm saying? Like he said, there's a lot of Latinos here in Chicago, and people from LA don't know that because they don't see that shit on TV. People from New York don't know that because they don't see that shit on TV, bro. People don't even know what a rammer was before rap. A lot of people in LA were like, "What's a rammer? Why y'all playing bumper cars for? Why y'all hitting each other for?" They don't understand the mentality. It's like what we was doing back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to turn that negative stuff and keep that culture alive. Because you know what I'm saying? That's what like you said, your boy that was in jail, bro, with the rammers. I do that. Like if you go through my phone, bro, I got a bunch of pictures of K5s, rammers, ram chargers, all kinds of rides, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the only one. So a lot of the guys from Rackham do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Some of my guys that passed away were always like one of my guys that passed away. I got his bumper on my truck, and I got a Freddy Krueger on his memory because he had a bourbon named Freddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So me and him were always talking about rammers, bro. And sometimes I think when it's Macitos, bro, I think like we talk the same, and we were always talking about rammers and dogs, bro. First it was pits, and then it went to bullies. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you go through my phone, all you're gonna see is rammers, bro. So then people get annoyed, like, but it's like, oh, I want to do that to my rammer. I want the next one or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to bring that Chicago culture and put it on the mass. People can see, like, if you think Texas, you know what I'm saying? You know what rides they got out there, you know what I'm saying? LA, you already know the lowriders. You know what I'm saying? But Chicago is like I love lowriders, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I'll drive a lowrider, you know what I'm saying? Or a classic. But out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Out here in the streets, well, I can't ram somebody with a lowrider, bro. And I'm not going to ram somebody with a lowrider because it's a $60,000 car.
Yeah.
And you put a lot of work into it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go over there and be like, man, I'm
talking about that too.
They was saying
I'm on my
that shit.
6'4" and boom, I racked, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, that
It's not
shit
gonna happen,
over
bro,
with.
you know what I'm saying? And with the bourbons, back in the day, them cars were throwaways, you know what I'm saying? You rack somebody, you take the plates off and run, you know what I'm saying? And most of the times, you buy the car, and a lot of people didn't even change the title, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the title wasn't under your name. You know what I'm saying? You got a fake name or whatever. You know what I mean? But now, you know what I'm saying? Now the cars are expensive, the bourbons are expensive, and it's like, how come we can't have our own culture from Chicago and tell it? They don't tell it on TV.
Yeah.
They don't tell it in the movies. You know what I'm saying? I never seen a movie that says like, damn, Rammer. I seen a Rammer in Batman, but I see it as a Rammer. People are gonna be like,
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, oh, that's a square body Chevrolet. You know what I'm saying? I hate them, I'm like, that's a Rammer. It's like, oh, but you see, the Rammer comes with a Rammer comes already with negativity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rammer. But that's how we know him. I'm not gonna change the name of it because that's what I grew up with. It's like a lowrider. I'm not gonna say that's a classic '64 Impala. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you gonna say by the street name. That's a
you know
low
what I'm saying?
rider.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that's a Rammer. Whatever they call it in the swag, whatever swangs, whatever they call it in Texas, but that's what they call it. Whatever nickname they got for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not gonna change that, and just because somebody feels some type of way because it's negative, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Let me tone it down because everybody do that to us on TV.
Yeah.
If you watch TV, the movies or the shows in Chicago, we're already toned down, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think like that's why I fuck with what you're doing, because I think like what you're saying basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like you want to give Chicago its own identity. Where like when you see it, like, oh, that's some Chi-Town shit.
Oh yeah.
That's big motivation of why even we started like a production company, and we're like in the process of kind of figuring out the production side so we could be able to tell our own stories.
Yeah.
Because like I was telling Ye earlier, you know, a lot of the stuff that we do is not the fun part, right? Setting up the cameras, setting up the lights, carrying all this, you know, luggage around and equipment around.
Yeah, you don't want to do that shit.
That's not the fun part, but we know that nobody else is going to provide us a platform to tell our stories. So we're going to have to learn how to do this on our own and figure out the math behind it from A to Z. How do we produce whatever it is we're trying to do, whether it's a movie, a podcast, a music video, because then nobody can tell us how to tell our story. Because we have everything we need to tell our story. So I think that's kind of like where our missions align a little bit, because I'm in the same way. Like, I want people to know about the Austin neighborhood from people from Austin. I want you to tell the story.
Yeah, that's
people from Pilsen, like, let me tell that story. I lived there my whole life. People from back of the yards, man, you want to hear a story about the back of the yards? Bro, like, somebody like you should be telling it, not like no writer from
somebody from LA or from New York.
Man was just saying that shit for the podcast.
Somebody actually not even been there.
Never been there in their
They
life.
could come and help and show us how to like structure the story, but when it comes to the content, bro,
we
gotta be heard.
Yeah, I fuck with what you're doing, because as we all minorities here, and as even as two different minorities group, I was dumb to like the whole Rammers culture and shit like that before Dre like explained it to me. So I really like what you're doing. You trying to like, even, some people might look at it as bad or whatever, but those people have never been immersed in that culture. They don't know the good behind it or just the culture and period. Culture sometimes not good or bad. It's like in the middle. It's a gray. It's just culture. So for you as a minority to try to bring and like a culture that you done grew up around your whole life, I think that's a dope idea, and I think we need more people like you to try to do that, because when people think of Chicago, they think of the violence and all that shit, but they never think like the smaller shit, like you said, the Ram and shit. That's a whole big culture to you. That shit was involved in your whole life, like you said, like Dre was saying that his celly or whatever. Like this, he was fucking hyped about this shit. He was ready to have a heart attack about this shit. Like, that's people's whole lives. So I definitely fuck with that, bro.
Bro, like a dope fiend talking about like
Hell
like used to get pumped up, like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's one of the reasons that Rackham kind of like blew up. You know what I'm saying? Because people started, you know what I'm saying, like
the love's already there.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was telling it. Nobody was
Mm-hmm.
saying nothing about it. But like they were like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I'm from the outside looking at the culture, like, hey, you know what? Let me make some hoodies and pop them off. You know what I'm saying? Let me tap into this culture. Like, you know how people tap into the writer culture. Nah, bro, I was actually out there on bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like I learned, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm thinking like he said, he could have had a dealership, but I'm thinking like, man, Caprices, Impalas. I had a Cadillac, bro. I had the only thing I never drove, bro, that sometimes that I still won't get into is a Chevy 20, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a story about a guy on back of the yards, bro. It was a party crew. And I guess he was driving on the viaducts by 48. And they shot from the top, bro, and they hit him right in the head. Like, they're driving around, and you know what I'm saying? After that, it was like, it's too open. You know what I mean? Like, there's nowhere to.
It's like a big coffin
somebody shoots
almost.
at you, bro. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't duck, bro. So
I know some dudes, bro, that friend of mine, you know, he died inside of a 20 Chevy 20 because it's like such a big target. You just shoot at a box.
box,
you
bro,
you're
know
gonna
what I'm
hit-
saying?
Exactly.
And it's like you're gonna hit something in there. So I definitely get. Yeah, Vans were always a little scary to me
Yeah,
too.
bro. I was like,
Because
but
first,
they'll
because they weren't that fast, so it was hard
Yeah.
to get away.
They had power. They'll rack some shit, but you know what I'm saying? But
And then I ain't like how how
Yeah.
the bumper was like right on top of you.
Yeah.
You know, like with the Bourbons, the
Yeah.
bumper's like way out there.
yeah,
It was almost a little scary.
yeah.
See,
But-
even as y'all talk about this right now, I'm having a culture shock because I don't know shit about none of this. Y'all talking
Yeah.
about, like, this is a whole culture to y'all, and I just think that's dope as hell. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to sit here and learn. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Who this and that? Like, they don't know shit about cars, no way. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture in my head. But when Dre showed me the picture, I'm like, oh, I know this, and you feel me? So yeah, that shit is definitely something that need to be touched on.
Cause it's crazy. Cause I got guys that they weren't about that life, bro. Like there's guys in Rackham. Like everybody thinks Rackham was a whole bunch of gamers. Nah, but we got guys that they're not. They live out in the burbs, bro. They, you know what I'm saying? But their parents had rammers. Their dads are from the city. They had rammers. So the dad's telling
They're younger
stories.
guys.
Yeah, the younger guys and the dad's telling stories about rammers, and the kids are like, so they see Rackham and they're like, oh, that's rammers. Hey, can we cruise with y'all? Like, yeah, come cruise with us. You know what I'm saying? Come ride with us. Someone will join our club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're good kids. You know what I'm saying? They're from, you know what I'm saying? But they just love that culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they love the big trucks, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They like the Broncos. They like the whatever a rammer is to them. They like it.
So now, how does that feel like to be driving around in those trucks, but knowing you're not really trying to wreck nobody?
Yeah.
Do you ever get like the urge if somebody cuts you off in traffic to like, I should just ram your ass right now?
Yeah, bro. At first it was like people all look at me, boy. You from that life, bro. So it's like, fuck you walking there, like, fuck you looking at, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then I see him pop out the phone, and I'm like, oh, they going to Chuck. But I didn't know how much impact Rackham really. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like. Still hasn't hit me, bro. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, oh, you that Rackham guy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of people see the rammers and they know my truck.
Yeah.
Like, so they start recording it, bro. So I stopped. I just be like, what's up? What's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You got that mentality that you still like, you know what I mean? Like, you get the urge, but the urge I don't get anymore. It's like, I'm not going to rack the truck because you know what I'm saying? The truck is like, it's like, I guess, like I see it's like part of history for because we brought the rammers back and they see that truck as one of the main,
Yeah, for sure.
one of the main rammers.
I know you had made a post that you're like thinking about selling. I was getting ready to text.
Yeah.
You. No, don't do it. That's the truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I put it on April Fool's Day, bro.
Oh, yeah, you got
bro.
me, bro. I was
Yeah, I
like,
put it
damn,
like, you gonna sell
no,
it?
shit, that's
And
the
I'm like,
logo.
yeah, and I told them the only way I'll sell it or who I'll sell it to, it'll be to the Mexican Museum, bro. So if they're telling our story, you know what I'm saying? If they're gonna tell like the Chicago story, not the one they want to tell, you know what I'm saying? They say, like, if they want to tell the nitty gritty story, like the bad or whatever, and boom, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of good things come from bad things, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what people don't get. A lot of good things come from bad things, and like what I'm trying to do is like we do a lot of stuff for the community, bro. Like some of the guys pull up, it's not mandatory, you know what I'm saying? But the guys they pull up, all of them pull up. Like when we do school supply drives, or we
Back
do
to school.
back to school supplies, or we do toy drives, or we do all kinds
Turkey
of
giveaway.
Food drives and shit.
yeah, food drives and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We'll do it in Pilsen. We'll do it in Little Village. We'll do it in Brown Park. And then we go all over the city. We go all over the South Side, boy. Like the turkey drive or the toy drive. We go all over the South Side. Inglewood, Little Village, Pilsen. Shit, we went to O'Block, bro. I got the bourbon in O'Block, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm right there with big ass turkeys, bro. I'm jumping out the bourbon. You know what I'm saying? But it was with Exclusive 773. He does a lot of stuff. In the neighborhood, you know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
seen
saying?
it. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been watching
so-
all y'all stuff, man. It's dope.
Yeah, so we like, so I'm trying to change that, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, yeah, we did what we did, you know what I'm saying? I got the tattoos, you know what I'm saying? I got whatever scars I have from the neighborhood, whatever, bro. That's the past, but I can't keep like, man, you my op, or you this.
I'm not the same person.
Yeah, I'm not the same person, but like, you can still see the tattoos and be like, and if you from Chicago, you're gonna be like, oh, this guy's from that neighborhood, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I still got the marks in me, but you know what I'm saying? But I keep it like I talk to these guys, I'm telling them straight up, like, look, I'm not on that bullshit no more. And I'm not gonna be like, you see some of these agencies be on bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be on there like, this guy's driving that. Hell no. I tell them straight up, like, look, bro, you're gonna come with positive vibes. I don't care where you're from. All that gaming should stay over there, bro. We're doing this for the love of the rammers. We're gonna cruise around, and you know what I'm saying? And we squashed a couple beef, a couple people left, you know what I'm saying? They were still on bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And I told them I can't put a sticker on you if you're gonna be on bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So everybody like
The Rackham sticker on the
Yeah,
truck.
yeah, the Rackham sticker on the truck. And it's like we're a new club, but we're new to this, but it's like nobody showed me like, oh, this is what clubs do, or this is what record labels do. We're starting everything from the ground up. But you know what I'm saying? The only thing I know how to do is whatever I know how to do in the past, but I'm trying to change it and flip it to like some positive and doing it. Bro.
Yep.
And I
Sound like the
guess-
same shit Dre
yeah,
trying to do.
yeah, the same. Yeah, like you said that with the industry, bro. Like If you don't do it, nobody else gonna do it for you, bro.
Nope.
And somebody's gonna come over and be like, "Here's
Nobody's
some
gonna
money."
give you a
Nah.
shot. Like, you
Nope.
got to make your own
Yeah,
shot.
you're not gonna be able to tell your story of what happened to you. How come you ended up there? You know what I'm saying? If you got a thug, why you got a thug? They're gonna tell you like, you know what I'm saying? No, you tell this story. It sounds better. Whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell your story. It's like, nah, well, we want to tell our stories. That's why I kind of got into this, doing the protesting, into activism, into all that stuff. I was like, we got to tell our stories.
Yeah.
So let me just cover like, let's talk about some of the, well, some people might call like the controversial part of Rackham, right? About maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, there was an incident on Cermak and Western, right, where this dude was driving, and he had his 2 kids in the back, and he was in what you would call a Rammer. He was in a Tahoe, I believe, or a Bourbon.
Yeah.
And they end up shooting up the truck. He ends up getting hit. Unfortunately, he passed away.
R.I.P.
Condolences to his family.
Yeah.
Condolences to the kids.
Yeah.
A lot of people's reaction was, look at the truck he was in.
Yeah.
If you're in that truck, you're about that life, right?
Yeah.
So it seemed like somebody pulled up, just seen the truck, tinted up, and what happened. When you see stuff like that, like, what's the first reaction that comes to your mind? And at any point, do you feel like you're putting your life kind of at risk driving around in those trucks? Because a lot of people still have that negative, and I'm talking about people that's in the streets still have that negative, aspect to that vehicle, because there's still dudes riding around in those vehicles that's still like on some street shit.
Yeah. Like, some of the hitters who out there show love, bro. Like, they're like, you know what? They know what I was back in the past. You know what I'm saying?
But when you see the incident like that, right?
When I see this with the kid, like, it hurts, bro, because he was with his kids, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't put my shorties in a Bourbon, because I know what I got. And I know what city I'm in. I'm in Chicago, bro. And Chicago it's a grimy city regardless, but you know what I'm saying? It's like a grimy city. You got to be careful. With that, bro, it hurt it, bro. We reached out to the family because it was what is it? The holiday, bro. The baskets, bro. Easter.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, damn, it's bogus because it's Easter right around the corner, and that happens to the dad, but right in front. I think the little girl, we talked to the mom, the little girl seen the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I think the other kids were asleep, but the daughter seen it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got a daughter, bro, and that hurts me, you know what I'm saying? If something happens to me in front of my kids, it's like, damn, you know what I mean?
It's got him for life.
Yeah, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning, bro. It's a weekend. I think it was a weekend. That doesn't matter. It's Chicago, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But 5 o'clock in the morning, and I think he was dropping off his baby mama to work or something. You know what I'm saying? But he had to go from one neighborhood to another neighborhood, bro. So what happens is somebody's gonna peep you. You know what I'm saying? You driving one of those trucks, you know the risk. Like, the guys know what we're risking. He's driving a Chevy 20. I'm driving the Bourbon. We know what we're risking when we're cruising. Because there's gonna be haters out there. They're gonna be like, oh, look at these things. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna bust at us or try to do something stupid. You know what I mean? The only good thing is I tell everybody, like, stay together and stay in the big streets. But we don't go to the neighborhoods when we're out together, because I can't go to my neighborhood with other guys from other neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we still got that. We still respect the little code out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna take people from other neighborhoods over there. But with the kid, that hurts, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that one hurt it right there, because it's like, he was, you know what I'm saying? The guy wasn't on bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was driving around with his kids, doing what a man's supposed to do. Even if he had drama with his baby mama, he was taking her to work, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was handling his business, bro. And he had his kids, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna leave his kids at home at 5 o'clock in the morning by themselves. So he took the kids, dropped off the mom, and that happens, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Did anybody from you guys' crew, like, did family members and be like, man, like, I don't know how I feel about you being in that truck now, because, you got a family, they want to see you come home. I understand you love the trucks, but that's too heavy of a price to pay. Did you guys get any type of feedback from anybody like that you knew, or even not even with that situation, but just in general, like, man, that's a little bit dangerous to be driving around that truck? Do you ever get like any comments like that?
Honestly, yeah, I have, especially my brother. He has 2 right now. He has a Tahoe, a lifted Tahoe, and then I was close to Bourbon. And a lot of people would think those trucks is to Ram. But also, like I be telling him, he stays in the suburbs now. He doesn't come to the city. He doesn't come to the neighborhood. He haven't even been back there since.
Sound like a smart man.
Yep.
And yeah, he used to be out there too, a lot too,
So
a lot of people know him. Thank God my brother, boy, I lost one of my brothers in the neighborhood, And then my other brother right now, he got shot like 3-4 times. You know, he almost lost his life. You know, but thank God he's still here. You know, and like I said, those trucks, and especially one he has with his girl. How I say this? He has his kids in there, so sometimes I'd be afraid, you know, because those trucks are like we try to do negative stuff, but like you said, there's some other people out there that
that don't care. I mean, even you see, episode 1, I had the guys from Bryant Park, and they're in it right now. And we brought up that incident, and they literally said, man, that's stupid what they're doing, because basically, you're putting yourself in the line of fire. And I kind of try to break it down to them, give them your aspect, and told them you my guy or whatever. But a lot of people feel that way, you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because this is Chicago. And you got a lot of people out here that just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure there's stuff that you guys do to minimize, like how you said, you stay in groups, you stay on big streets, you know, and I think that does help when they see a big group. They're like, oh, there must be some type of club, you know,
Yeah,
and
that
I think the
definitely.
more you're getting out here, getting your message out, getting the logo out, how important is that to make sure everybody on the team stays on message and doesn't get into no bullshit where dirties the name up of everybody in the crew. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have issues like that?
No, see, I gotta handle it different than being you know what I'm saying? Because people from different neighborhoods, bro. So it's like me telling him something, bro, and somebody else from his neighborhood gonna be like, why you listen to that nigga? You know what I'm saying? He's an op, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not an op. Like I tell everybody, nobody's op no more. Ain't nobody out there. You could be whatever you want. Ain't nobody my op no more. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
So it's but I gotta do it smart. I can't tell one guy hey, bro. So I gotta say hey man, we fucking up. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Because I can't be telling one guy hey bro, don't do this. There's a way I gotta tell him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
There's a way I gotta tell him. I tell him
it's not you're not giving orders, but it's just this is what the movement's about. The movement, you gotta be kind of like with Love City. I know Love City is bigger than me. That's the
One
only
band,
way
one
it's really gonna
sound.
mean something. It gotta be bigger than just one person.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even about me. I'm the one that might have started it, but somebody could come one day and take over where it's just way more than just what Dre's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of
That's the thing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when you in a group or some type of organization where it's just more to you. Like you said, some people could be selfish and could just be looking at stuff individualized. But like Dre was saying, you gotta put I'm not just representing me. I'm representing everything my group stand for. Even though I might feel like this, I gotta go against my self feelings for the betterment of the group.
Yeah, that's the same thing, but I gotta try to tell him in a certain way, hey man, you know, we gotta do this. Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stick around. You know, you're making us look this. Other people are gonna think we this.
That's what we on.
Yeah, they think that's what we on or whatever. And I already know the police are looking at us. Well, they see us and it's they see a bunch of trucks and they think we're on bullshit. But they don't say, they want to talk about the bad stuff. They don't want to say about the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? The good stuff we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? See, I got people from different neighborhoods, bro. And bringing the Rammers together, bro. You get some of them guys that were out there on bullshit. Now they see these other guys and they don't see them as an enemy no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? Someone's like, man, that's one of my guys from Raccoon.
Yeah.
And you know, bro, they start bullshitting. That's my cousin, bro. No, I know he's whatever, but he's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So you stop, in a certain way.
It's like you're doing. It's like I tell people even in Love City, right? We're doing our small little part, you know, and we're doing our part in our little circle. We're doing our small part. Obviously, we're not going to solve the issue of the whole city, but at least we're doing our part to make a small positive change a little bit at a time, and that's how kind of it starts. And I'm glad that you got I know you got guys from different neighborhoods that you know at one time might have been plugged, so they understand and they don't feel insulted. Be like, hey, look, man, we're doing something over here in a little village. The guys already told me they ain't feeling if you coming over because of what you used to be and respecting that. I remember there was an issue when I told you hey, meet me at the school. You know, the little school I work out of. And I didn't realize that you were closer to the school than I was because I wanted to get there first to make sure I greeted you at the door. And when you're like, hey, I just got here, I'm like, shit, because I know all the little youngsters are there. And they're wild as hell, you know what I'm saying? So they seen you. When I walk in, I'm already I hear you asking for me. And I already see the shorty, I see the look on their face, they're on you. Who is this? And at that moment, it's like they go into a zone. Like
Yeah.
we got one. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm telling them, hey, bro, he's with me. It's like they don't even see me, bro.
Yeah.
Like they're looking right past me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, bro, like chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's with me. Like man, we ain't on that.
Yeah.
But what was cool was that one of them recognized you, like, oh, you're the dude from Rackham,
Yeah.
and it kind of changed the tone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now it was like, it was pretty cool that you were there. They were familiar with all your content, all your
Yeah.
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because again, they're probably like, they like the culture too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
They
it's
got
like
alliance.
They on point.
afterwards, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, look, me and him work on stuff together. We both working on positive shit on our own way. We both from the streets. We both from different neighborhoods. But if you guys feel disrespected by him coming over here, then I'll go meet him somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, at the end of the day, bro, like y'all out here like this, living whatever how y'all living, and I'm gonna respect whatever your wishes are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, like it wasn't really an issue. But they be like, nah, that nigga, he's still an op. Ooh.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah.
he ain't no op.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
Yeah, even
That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even though you
get
on,
off that.
even though you on some positive still, you still respecting the rules of the neighborhood or the street.
Yeah.
Whatever. You like, shit, just because of this what I'm on, I know everybody ain't always what I'm on, and I don't want to put him in no danger. Or I don't want them to feel like, oh, this man Dre, he fucking with dude, fuck Dre, fuck whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So like,
But
yeah.
you know what's crazy? There was an incident one time when we did the school supply, bro. One of the guys was to me, he's like, and I looked at him and I'm like, what? So I go holler at him, like, what's up, bro? Nah, bro, I'm just telling you, better not bring nobody from over there. We respect you, but you know what I'm saying? You bring other guys from over here. And I'm looking at him like, man, what's the beef, bro? I'm doing this for the kids, bro. You see how this, boo. And we had a lot of people. There was a lot of car clothes. I told him, look, I'm not stupid, bro. Like, if you got beef with some other guys from Little Village, I'm not going to bring motherfuckers from Little Village that y'all beefing with. I'm not going to be people y'all beef with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's people that I know they're not active and they were from out here, then that's a different story. They're over here on some positive shit.
Yep.
And then we had that issue. That dude hits me up like 2 weeks later. I said, boy, where you at? He wanted to go cruising with us. Yeah, I don't give a fuck if y'all from wherever you're from. As long as y'all in the hood, y'all cool. I was like, and he was cruising with us, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, at least he sees it.
And
You know
that's
what
how
I'm
you kind of start making
Yeah.
the change. You know, you kind of start seeing like, man, I don't really gotta want to kill this dude if I see him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
'cause
like,
You go to jail, boy, you already know that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers gonna get along, bro.
Yup.
You go to the feds, Chicago motherfuckers with Chicago motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And if you go to the county, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, oh, that's one of my guys. Well, I know you from. Everybody knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows everybody through somehow in Chicago.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, oh, you're my cousin, or you're my baby mama, or whatever, or you're you're related to blah blah blah. And somehow everybody knows each other, bro. Because even with us in Rackham, it's like they start telling stories like, where you from? Oh shit, what the hell, bro? You know, blah blah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like
that's my cousin.
Yeah.
My cousin was all 48 fool. What like that?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Man,
it's a small world.
It's
And it-
crazy because
yeah.
like and like being like and because I'm not from the streets, but you
Yeah.
know, of course, I've been affected by the
Yeah.
street culture, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
from the hood. I'm from Austin area, and like when you actually sit down and talk to another person like from your area, or whatever. Like I got an example. These two dudes, they went to my school. Like they from two different neighborhoods. They neighborhoods into each other. They
Yeah.
quote unquote ops or whatever. But when we at school, we at college or whatever. Now like we
Yeah.
sitting down, we all kicking it together, we chilling together, we going to parties together. Like I'm like, see, this is crazy. Y'all more alike than y'all is different. And that remind me of it was a Nipsey Hussle interview, and he was like, when he was in the streets or whatever, he was driving down, he was going to look for his ops. Like he arrived past a person that was like a square or something like that. But as soon as he see a person that walk like him, talk like him, or whatever, he's like, oh yeah, that's him. We on him. So it's like when you in the streets, you looking for yourself, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
bro, it's
crazy.
true.
Yeah, my mentor used to always tell me like the enemy is in me. So you always like you into it with yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to kill the person that's most similar to yourself instead of working together and putting something positive in the world.
Yeah, that's true, because I a couple weeks ago, bro, I seen it, bro. I went to a grocery store, you know what I'm saying? I went to like a 7-Eleven, bro, a gas station in the burbs, bro. So you know what I'm saying? You see how the white folks or whatever, it's like, hey, what's up, guy? Hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And then you see a paisa come in, and I'm like, and he looks at me too, like,
Yep.
what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, instead of being like, ¿Qué pasó, compa? ¿Dónde eres?
Yeah.
We're looking at each other like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But with everybody else, I'm
Yeah.
like, Frank, hey, how you doing?
I can say that if it's
And it's true, bro. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy because I even seen it
Yeah.
from a different perspective, right? So like, you know, whatever I was gone for a minute. When I came back, you know, I was doing the violence prevention with that organization.
Yeah, you know what I'm
you
saying?
know,
And they hate, bro. Motherfuckers hate out here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
So I'm coming back. I'm observing. I wasn't one of these older dudes like
Yeah.
telling these youngsters like, man, you know what the fuck I was. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you need to learn. Like, I'm
Mhm.
telling you what I.
Yeah.
Really, I'm learning from them because I
Mhm.
need to learn everything. I need to learn
Yeah.
internet shit. I need to learn
Yeah.
phones. I need to learn what music. So by me working out of Little Village, I was working with youngsters from Little Village
Yeah.
as well as the neighborhood I'm from, which is their rival,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same thing we're talking about, bro. They wearing the same clothes. They listening to the same songs.
Mhm.
They ordering food from the
Y'all
same
the same
places.
They
person.
wearing the same food. I see.
Yeah, they like the same type of females. Like, bro, they just like, bro, y'all the same.
If
You know
y'all
what I'm
put
saying?
this gang
It
to
never
the
really
side,
hit me like that
Mhm.
until I seen it from that perspective, where
Yeah.
like these are youngsters, you know, and you know everybody's kind of like showing love
Yeah.
from both sides of the neighborhood. You know, just Dre just trying to do some good or whatever.
Yeah.
And so now I'm looking at it different. Like, man, these dudes are the same, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you listening to the same song this dude was listening to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
like if y'all put this gang stuff aside, y'all could be the best of friend. Tay from off where I'm from. You
Yeah.
know my little brother, right? Now this is a crazy story. The first time we ever met Tay, they moved into the neighborhood. It's like a week into them moving in the neighborhood. So it's me, my little brother. We at the park with some more of our homies. Now they come up there playing and stuff. It was Tay and his twin brother. Now they was throwing eggs. Now him. Our homie and Tay brother, they got into it or whatever. And Tay brother, he ended up cracking the egg on Shorty head or whatever. So now we get into it and we fighting them or whatever. So when every time we seen him, it was like, oh, it's F them or whatever, we ain't talking to them. And it's crazy because Tay and my little brother, they end up being the best of friends, like sleeping in the same bed, sharing the same clothes. Like, if I got it, you got it, whatever. And the first time we ever met them in life, we was fighting them. I'm like, that's crazy. If people really sit down and just have a talk, y'all can be the best of friends.
And I think that's why, like in the joint, especially in the feds, right? I know the state joint is a little different, but sometimes, like, the only way Chicago, especially when you're outside of the region, when you're far from Chicago, and it's a 1,500 person compound, and there's only like 100 dudes from Chicago, and you got dudes from the East Coast or the West Coast, whatever. They're 200-300 deep. Like, the only way we can stay safe is sticking together. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's like just a mutual respect amongst the guys from Chicago, whether you Land Folks, Land King, or Vice Lord, GD, because I think everybody just respects like all the shit that we gotta go through.
What's going on.
You know, till now we're outside the city, and it's like, I respect you, like, man, you was really out here, man. It's a motherfucker out there, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like, shit, hey, you got my back, I got your back. Like, what's up? It almost like, bro, that's why like Chicago dudes just move different in the fans, bro. It's like other dudes don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand it. And it's like, bro, like, you guys are just kind of like learning some of this shit. Like, bro, like, it's fucked up. It's like, bro, it's like almost we've been training for this shit our whole life.
Chicago is like a boot camp out here, bro.
I
You know what I'm saying?
think as Chicagoans, like just growing up, we naturally develop a skill to survive. And I think we observing because like wherever we go or whatever, as a Chicago person, when you first go somewhere around a lot of people you don't know, that's why they say Chicago dudes always in the party on the wall. And I'm like, we ain't even on that. That's just like we observing, we noticing everything or whatever. That's like a skill to survive because if you go to a party with 100 people you don't know, you just in the middle dancing and all that, you don't know what could happen. You ain't ready to do nothing. So I think that's what it is. Like Chicago people, we just know how to like survive and adapt.
Sure. And then, I mean, now let's talk about kind of like how me and you really just connected, right? Because you're out here trying to do your movement. I'm out here trying to do my like Love City thing. And then you got like a lot of these organized organizations that are getting like a lot of the funding to do the type of work that kind of like we're also trying to do, right? But the work we do, and not to knock them, right? Because they're doing a lot of positive stuff. They bring a lot of resources to the community. And I know because I worked for one of these organizations before, and I seen firsthand like all the good that they do. But I think there's a lot of gaps that they don't cover. And that was kind of like the frustration. Like, man, like I'm trying to come, I'm trying to do the same shit you're doing, but I'm trying to come from a different angle. It's the same goal. Can I get some support? And it's like the support really wasn't there and I don't blame, because sometimes they don't see it, like they don't understand it, where you're coming from, how this is gonna work. And I think that's the similarity me and you have, right? Like you're doing stuff for the community. You're like you're trying to, stop the violence. You're trying to like bring young people, because I've seen a lot of people that are part of the movement. They're all
Yeah.
young, bro.
They're
Like
young as
Rammers,
ever, yeah.
when Rammers were really a thing. They're like babies, or might
Yeah, but they were babies by then. They're not even born.
they're
You know what I'm saying?
attracted to like
Yeah.
the movement, and the
Yeah.
same shit with the young people that I work with. Like I'm their like parents' age, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I'm here on the ground, I got like a clearer view.
Yeah.
Like, bro, this needs to be tapped into. Like,
Yeah.
we need to do it. Can we do it? And they're like, yeah, I don't know. You know, there's no room in the budget for that. Like, all right,
Yeah.
well, that's whatever the case is. But I know this, it got to be done. We got to
Yeah.
figure out a way to still do it. And I think that's kind of like another reason why, like, we, you know, connected, because we're really good
Yeah.
at doing a lot with a little bit,
Yeah.
and how to maximize everything we do got.
Yeah.
You got the truck, you're making it a
Yeah.
good thing. Like everybody knows now, like I started off Love City with a fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
That was my number one
Yeah.
camera, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so how is it to, do you like, was it like frustrating for you knowing that, you know, there's definitely the funding there is to like make this even bigger and better,
Yeah.
but really nobody really like, do you feel the same way?
I feel yeah, you know, we relate to the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? The shorty sees us out there, like we relate to them. I don't come to them with telling them stories like, hey man, this is who I was, bro. And man, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? The streets know who you were. The streets know.
And
know
they
what I'm
don't
saying?
care right now.
Yeah, they
So
don't care
what?
no more. But you could have been whoever, but they don't care. If they don't see you, they don't know you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could be in whatever, you know what I'm saying? But we, like you said, we out here, bro. You fucks with the shorties, bro. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the shorties too, bro. Like you say, we got a lot of young ones, bro. And I show them respect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do this stuff, and I'm not gonna tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Rackham is a car club or truck club is a movement, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they see me as the older guy, like, hey, what's up? And I'm cool with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the same thing, like you say, the other organizations, I feel they're tied up, bro, because of the funding they get.
Mhm.
They could do so much, and they can't do so much. And it's sometimes I see it like, man, maybe it's part time. Some of them are out there for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're over there doing this and that. But I think they got their hands tied up because of who's giving them the money, who's giving them the
Like
funding.
you got to stay within
Yeah.
these lines. If
You
you're-
can't do this.
Like
You can't
if
do
you
that.
take this money,
Yeah. And it's,
this money's just for this. But you're
Yeah.
like, damn. But what about right here? Like,
Yeah.
and like, man, we're not giving you money for that.
Yeah.
So,
So
go
what
find
do-
money for that somewhere else?
What do you think is some of the solutions to that? Like some of the solutions so the funders could go to those places that don't get the spotlight or that need that funding.
our own people start getting our own stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way, because if you see who's giving you the funding, bro, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see what people are giving you the funding, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And who's in charge, bro? Who's really in charge, bro? Like, who you answering to? You know what I'm saying? I don't answer to nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's we could do what I want. You don't answer to nobody, bro. So you can move how you want, you know what I'm saying? And the kids, there's the way you could talk to the kids, and there's a way I talk to them, and you know what I'm saying? And we relate to them, and we can move how we move, bro. And the good thing is that, yeah, we struggle, bro. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, I gotta put some of my money, bro. And my family backs me up, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, I'm doing this and woo woo. Oh man, here, like the tow drive, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then last one we got blessed because Little Chamber of Commerce is like, they fuck with what we do, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like, and I be like, what I do is I put politicians on blast. Like, what's up? You talking about the neighborhood and you doing this? And they're like, man, they give us a whole box of toys, bro. Like, yeah, even if you say stuff, I'm like, look, I'm not saying stuff about y'all. I'm saying stuff about the neighborhood, like the way y'all move.
Right.
No, but you know what? They gave us a whole box of toys, bro. They helped us. Because you know what I'm saying? And the next day, blah, 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 we passed by a bunch of toys.
I got a question for y'all too. Like what possessed y'all or what attracted y'all to want to join Rackham or just be a part of the movement? Like what was really the trending force towards that?
Well, when I met Ricky, you know, pretty much we met off the, you know, because he was telling me like, you know, I'm trying to start a label and I'm trying to, you know, I want to do music. You know, I've been doing music. I just came home from the joint as well, so I could I was hearing your story a little bit, and I just came home in October, so he started telling me that he's trying to do a music label and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, you know, stay away from the stuff that got me in there. I'm trying to, you know, change my life and go all the way into music, you know, hopefully live from it. And that's what attracted me to it, you know what I'm saying? And Ricky's with the same mindset, and, you know, he's a guy with a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. So, man, you know, it was a blessing, you know?
And that's dope.
Yeah, me, well, when I met Ricky, you know, about the Rammers, I like the culture, so the reason I joined and to help the community.
I mess with that. So like the culture just pulled you in.
Exactly, you know,
feel
like
that.
not that type of Rammy, you know. The club, like I said, we're trying to bring negative stuff to the car club, you know.
Positive stuff. No.
Positive, yeah.
Positive stuff. There you go. My bad.
You good.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on the platform, man, and blessing us, man, and just, you know, letting the people know what y'all about. So y'all, like, if y'all see the logo, you know, y'all know like it's all love, it's all positive, and just kind of like now there's a little bit more awareness.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
help with that. Like I said, we're gonna keep supporting each other.
Yeah, you already know.
If y'all
bro.
don't know, Ricky does acting. He's a
Yeah.
he has already like roles on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
So we definitely gonna lock in on some film
Man,
stuff.
yeah, you already know.
You know, like we shoot music videos all day,
bet.
bro.
We know how to do it.
We gotta shoot your videos, man.
Yeah, bro.
And we definitely gonna need some of the trucks in the videos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna
Oh,
need
you already know
gonna
that.
need
Yeah,
you too,
bro.
man. So
Gotcha.
is there anything before we wrap it up that you want to tell the people before we leave?
Man, you know, if y'all see us, bro, man, you know what I'm saying? Someone was made. No, I'm not gonna say mistakes, but you know what I'm saying? We just made bad choices or whatever and got us into whatever got us into. But now we're trying to change that narrative and do something positive. It's like, we Chicago, bro. You Chicago, you Chicago. We Chicago, bro. So we're just trying to put Chicago on the map. 'Cause how come LA could be on the map? How come all these other cities could be on the map? How come we can't be on the map? You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
So all I'm doing is trying to put Chicago on the map. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate. Whatever we do is, we do it like, you know what I'm saying? We keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do got guys from different neighborhoods. We try to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people change. So they're not active or whatever, you know what I mean? And whoever's active is out, you know what I'm saying? But we're trying to do something positive, put the city on the map, and you know what I'm saying? Thank you for having us here, bro. Y'all already know we're gonna keep messing around, you know what I'm saying? We could keep doing stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Y'all tell you stories, we tell our stories. That's all we're trying to do. But tell our stories and show the world we could change, you know what I'm saying? Like we come from Chicago, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all already know how this out here.
Okay, that's
Sure.
what's up, man. Yay, that's episode 2, man. The
Yes,
books, man.
sir.
All right, man. Till next time. Peace.
Y'all already know.
Man, I know they ain't 2-3, man.
You ain't shooting with Love City, I don't know who you shooting with.
Ayy. Fuck what you talking about, bitch. What the fuck going on? Ayy, ayy. I promise every beat you throw at me that I'ma kill it. Niggas hate and give a fuck about they fucking feelings. Step on next and stack my money to the fucking ceiling. It gon' miss a niggas dissing, mama's reminiscing. I'm a vet up in this shit, but who them new niggas? We gon' push up on them, look suspicious, pull a few triggers. And we got them stitches like a ruler, fuck a school nigga. Knocking at your door, you know it's me, I'm coming through, nigga. I swear I can't wait till I get rich so I can fuck it up. If you want some smoke, then grab a light and nigga puff it up. I ain't up to talking, a lot of niggas, they be fans. Swerving out of traffic, hit the cut, cause I'm the man. Ayy, let's go. Fuck out with that party with that bitch, she off a Zan. Sucking on my dick, so after me, pass to my man. She already knew the deal, I done told her in advance. If you wanna fuck with me, little baby, you gon' drop some pants. I done pulled up to the party with a wood, bitch, I'm smoking shit. She ain't go to college, give me head and she just go with it. I don't know her name, but she fucked up and she was over sick. Jumped up in the car, sucked my dick and she was overlit. I ain't never stressing on a bitch, that shit be crazy. Fuck around and smoked a pound and started getting lazy. Ballin' like I'm Mike, I'm throwing bullets like I'm Brady. Fuck around and killed him, he tried talking to my lady. Bitch, I'm really out here trying to trap just on the daily. You ain't really fucking with me, how could I feel safety? Don't fuck with these niggas, set you up cause they be hating. City on my back and fuck around and started A. I promise every beat you throw at me that I'ma kill it. Niggas hate and give a fuck about they fucking feelings. Step on next and stack my money to the fucking ceiling. It gon' miss a niggas dissing, mama's reminiscing. I'm a vet up in this shit, but who them new niggas? We gon' push up on them, look suspicious, pull a few triggers. And we got them stitches like a ruler, fuck a school nigga. Knocking at your door, you know it's me, I'm coming through, nigga.
If you ain't shooting with Love City, I don't know who you shooting with.